Good day and welcome. We're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month by interviewing some outstanding professionals in their field. Joining us today, we will have Diego Gonzalez, Caterpillar's Supply Network Facility Manager at the Victoria site, who will tell us a bit about his personal and professional journey and working in different countries. We'll also hear more about other careers in the supply network, the logistics field, from Judith Romero, who is also with Caterpillar, located here in Victoria as their indirect buyer. So, Mr. Gonzalez, we'll turn it over to you and Judith.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. First of all, thank you for the invite, and thanks for everyone who is dialing into this meeting or watching this video. So glad to being able to participate in this program. So first, before we move forward, I would like to start with safety briefing. So I know that a lot of people are working from home or studying from home. So make sure that you remove any trip hazards around you, like electrical cords or any toys if you have some kids around or some brothers and sisters. As well, having a ergonomic workstation is always good. I know that sometimes we like to work in different ways, but make sure that you have a correct ergonomic station. Identify your safety location, your evacuation routes, things like that. So that way we can be always safe. So once again, welcome to this meeting. My name is Diego Gonzalez. I'm the purchasing manager for Caterpillar Victoria. Been in the company for more than 10 years and 2 different locations. So, and before we start with some of the questions, they asked me to introduce myself. So I would like to use one of the presentations that I have. So let's see if I can pull this here. All righty, we're ready. So as I mentioned, my name is Diego Gonzalez. I was born and raised in Monterrey, Mexico. I grew up there for 26 years. I studied over there and actually had the opportunity to do good things, including my master's degree. So I finished my bachelor's in economics, and then right after my bachelor's economics, I continued studying and finishing my master in business administration by the Instituto Tecnológico de Estudios Superiores de Monterrey, or well known as well as Tech de Monterrey. On the family side, I have a beautiful wife, 3 great kids. So, and I like to spend a lot of time with them, and I like to participate in several activities like I'm the worship leader for the Spanish service in the Faith Family Church here at Victoria. So keeping in touch with all the Latinos and speaking in Spanish as well. A little bit of my work experience. Right after my master's degree, I started as a country sales manager for 5 years in illumination or products for landscaping, lighting, and other products for all Mexico. So as you can see, I was responsible for all the different areas in Mexico. So 5 years of traveling everywhere in Mexico, knowing the different cultures, even in Mexico. I mean, Mexico is so big that sometimes having different cultures, different sides of Mexico. So for example, I'm on the northeast of Mexico, it's Monterrey, and Judith here is on the northwest of Mexico. And even though we're both on the north side, or norteños, as we call it, we're a little bit different. We have different ways to speak the Spanish and different ways to prepare the machaca. All right. After being 5 years as a sales manager, I was invited to lead as a general manager a construction company. Up to 300 employees and 120 pieces of equipment. There's a picture. Maybe you can find me. No, it's hard to see it, but in the middle, you'll find me around there that I was there. But back then, I started being in love with the Caterpillar equipment. As you can see, we were user of a lot of Caterpillar equipment, a little bit old equipment. Mexico is not very common to buy new equipment, but one of the requirements for buying used equipment was to be a Caterpillar brand, because we knew that they were good products. So right after that, I was received an invitation to be part of and move to US and be part of Transition Bucyrus and Caterpillar. So Bucyrus was a mining company that used to build those large mining trucks. Yeah, those are not toy cars, are real cars. And that is a huge mining truck. 400 tons was the capacity of that. So it was a very fun experience to start learning and finding suppliers and finding parts of that size, right? So right after that, Caterpillar bought Bucyrus, and it was a nice transition to be a full Caterpillar. That's me back then giving a tour to a group of people to show them about around the facility back then. That was in the Rio Acuña border. So I was there for 5 years in total, or 6 years, sorry, managing more than 25 employees between supply chain, logistics, and direct and indirect materials. So after that, I received an invite to come to Victoria, Texas. So that's me. I think it was my second day here in Victoria. I was very impressed with the excavators, and you probably are seeing those excavators when you pass to the Loop 463. So we do a lot of those excavators every day here, so it's always fun. So my responsibility here is to bring every single part of those excavators required to be assembly. And Judith is in my team, and she helps us as well to bring parts and services that are required to do the assembly. So I have a lot of fun doing that. So every year, what I try to do is we do a supplier summit, we call it, and we invite suppliers from all around the globe. We have more than 250 suppliers here that provide parts to build excavators. And some suppliers are in China, Japan, they are in Italy, in Germany, there are a lot of in Mexico, and there are a lot in US, of course, but there are other suppliers all around the globe. But so as you can see different nationalities on the group, right? So it is always fun to get together, share a little bit of the what's going on with Victoria, a little bit of the forecast, the plans that we have, and what is our requirement for them. So it's a lot of interaction, a lot of talking with the different cultures, talking a lot with different people from different countries. So I always appreciate that, because I learn so much when I start talking with them and learning about how they approach to business, how they like to be treated, how they want to perform certain things that there's totally different from when the normal US company do it, right? And as well, it's always good. So been here in Victoria, as I mentioned, since 2016. So it's been 5.5 years. It's been always awesome. And one of the reasons why I was moved or invited here is because they had a lot of facilities, because this facility was moved from the north. This facility used to be in Illinois, and they moved it to Texas. So when they opened, and one of the main reasons was to have a supplier south in Mexico, right? So so they developed some suppliers in Mexico, but they were not understanding all the culture, because the people who were managing, they were like basically only US native people, that they understand only the American way to do business. So one of my activities was to kind of make that link between the Mexico suppliers and the American requirements, right, that we had here in Victoria. So it was pretty cool that those same suppliers that were underperforming after we explain a little bit and we treat them the way that they needed to be treated and kind of having a lot more communication, the results were started improving and improving with those suppliers. So they were shipping the parts on time with the correct quality, and everything was going a lot better. So a little bit of what I like to keep as a Latino. So I like to go to Mexico every time that I can. I mean, we're 6 hours away from Monterrey, so try to use all the vacations that we have, and of course, the family vacations. But if it's possible, we do it in Mexico. My wife, she loves to prepare real authentic Mexican food with tortillas, but real tortillas and nopales and arrachera and pan de dulce and troles. And we don't use yellow cheese, guys. That's not Mexican cheese. So we try to avoid the yellow cheese. Even though if we go to the Tex-Mex restaurants, you will find yellow cheese everywhere, right? And we try to celebrate the key dates for Mexico celebrations. So as you can see, there is the Cinco de Mayo is not there. Cinco de Mayo is not, sorry, but it's not the Independence Day or anything. I mean, yes, it was a battle and we celebrate, but it's a small celebration in Mexico. The big ones are 16th of September, 20th of November, and I put 24th of June because this is having breakfast in the house that we have in Mexico. This is what I was mentioning, the real authentic sweet bread, pan de dulce, and the paleteria, which is really authentic with real fruit. And this is what I mentioned in the 24th of June is when the small little town that we're from, they have the community party, I will call it that way. So the whole city gets some celebration because it's when they have a 1 more anniversary, and they have all kind of carnivals and parades and fireworks and all kind of stuff. So good stuff. So I will show a quick video of how is the weekend in one of the small towns in Mexico. All right. So I don't know if you saw it, but there's a lot of people get together on the main plaza, and there have all kind of food around. There's people dancing, and there's some things going on. So it's always fun to be there, to be around, and we feel very very comfortable going and doing some of that. Some other things that is part of my cultural background is that Monterrey, poor people say like, oh, Monterrey is a small little town, it's in Mexico, they don't have anything. Well, Monterrey is a huge city and they have all kind of stuff that you can imagine. So they have all the brands and all the famous American and European brands and Japanese brands and everything. They are there, the cars, the purses, everything that you name it. But at the same time, what we try to do is to keep on a small town. So that small town is 40, 50 miles south of Monterrey, and we try to always keep it on that. We have as activities, we like soccer. Most of the Mexico people, they like, or the Latino people, they like soccer. It's probably the favorite sports in all Latin America. So Monterrey has a nice, beautiful stadium, and we like to go there and have it. On the food, I think you know, but we like to do carnes asadas or barbecuing, but it's a little bit different. It's not smoking the whole night like here in Texas. It's more like getting together with the friends and things like that. So it's part of the same culture, right? Getting together as a family, as a friends, and spending some time together. And a fun fact I put there that we kiss the ladies and hug the guys. Please don't think that we kiss like that, right? It's just is the culture is that we're a lot more warm culture where we like to say hi and shake hands, and as I mentioned with the guys, we hug each other when we see, even if there's not your relatives, if they are friends or they are people, like when I go to Caterpillar, Mexico, and I see some people, I do like a handshake and then like a half hug, right? That's normal for them. And like, hey, you are welcome here in Caterpillar, Mexico. I mean, you are Caterpillar, we're Caterpillar, so we're friends. So, and for the ladies, what it is the we just put together the cheeks, right? It's not like kissing, but it's kind of, and even it's the first time that I see those kind of ladies, or those ladies, sorry, I just do that because it's part of the culture. One time I took one of my quality people, quality girls that I have, and I took it to Mexico, and she was all surprised the first time because when she went there and people started kissing her, and she was like all red and flushed. I was like, oh, what's going on? I was like, whoa, 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 it's nothing wrong. It's just a cultural thing that they like to make you feel welcome. So by the third day, she was kissing everyone, right? Like she was already involved on the culture. So that's part of the things. So uh, and I don't want to go there because that's very specific for what I've been doing here. That's a presentation that I use for other work. What I want to say is, as I mentioned, having that big cultural experience is always great, right? It's really hard um, to understand the different cultures if we're not open. So something that has been helping me a lot is that I've been able to interact with the different cultures, Chinese culture, Japanese culture, but especially the Mexico and the American culture, right? As you can see, maybe you can see it from there. You can see some yellow here, some even some red, and then at the end, you can see all the greens there. All those are the Mexico suppliers when I arrived, and they were struggling really bad. And the reason is because, as I mentioned, the culture for Mexico, they require to have a little more interaction. They need to say, hey, how are you? Hey, I will send you this PO, or let's do business, etc. With the American culture, probably it's a little more like I send you the PO and they will send the parts back to us. No interaction, maybe, and that's okay, right? It's a saying that says in Mexico, first you become friends and maybe we'll do business. And in for America is let's do business and maybe we can be friends, right? So it's a little bit different. So why I'm saying all this, because you guys that watching this video, you have some of that culture, the Latino culture. So please use it and be proud of that. Be proud of speaking Spanish. Be proud of knowing the differences between both cultures and use them to your benefit, right? I mean, I cannot tell you how much the Spanish that I have has been helping me to interact with all those suppliers when I go and visit them in Mexico, instead of having a translator, and instead of, no, I go and just speak in Spanish, of course, and I mean, able to speak even with the supervisors on the shop floor, and other people that I want to, right? Um, but so be proud of who you are, be proud of what you do. Uh, who are your parents and who are your grandparents, and if they speak Spanish to you, please speak back Spanish, because I know that a lot of people like, oh, I don't know if I don't need Spanish. Well, believe me, there will be a time that you probably will need to use that Spanish, and that Spanish will open you a lot more doors. Really quick, I'm gonna go on the questionnaire they sent me that, so I'm gonna start asking. I will start answering those questions. So, why did you choose this field? I guess the field of purchasing of supply network. Well, something I was mentioning earlier, I always like to negotiate. I mean, all my life has been always a passion for me, negotiating and doing things and always interacting with people, right? So in this, as you probably remember, I said that I started as a sales manager, and then now I'm a purchasing manager. So basically, it's on the opposite side of the desk, but it's similar techniques, right? So that's the negotiation, I think, is the key. I really liked it. What do you do in this current position? I mentioned we bring every single component that excavator requires to be shipped, right? I mean, excavator probably require more than 4,000 pieces, right? So we need to have those 4,000 pieces on time, ready to assembly. If we're missing one part, if we're missing one little washer or a bolt, the excavator cannot leave the facility and we cannot sell that. So that's a priority for us, having those parts on time with the correct quality. What do you enjoy the most about your job? The interaction with a lot of people, with a lot of cultures, with a lot of owners of companies. So in 2019, we have more than 500 visitors just for purchasing. So imagine, it's more than a visitor per day, right? So the average is 2 weeks. If you take possession that we only have 200 plus days because the weekends and holidays. So more than 2 visitors per day. So it's always having someone to talk with, interact with, to learn about how they are doing things different, business different, or new ideas, new technology that they're implementing in the locations, things like that. What level is training is required, certifications, certification degrees? Well, for all the positions that are here in Caterpillar for salary and management, they require a bachelor degree. So having a bachelor degree is really, really important. Of course, we have positions like assemblers or people moving parts, things like that. Those that will not require bachelor degree. But I can tell you the difference between those two positions or those two types of positions. The pay is different. It's a lot higher, being on the salary and management position. What academic knowledge do you need? Um, Everything. Well, it's always good to be good on finance and math, especially if we're gonna do a lot of numbers. I was saying that probably we're gonna spend more than $400 million just for this facility here in Victoria. So having always a good way to measure that and realize the numbers and things like that will help you. But as well, doing good presentations and doing good pivot tables and VLOOKUPs and all the Microsoft skills, that would be really, really good. Of course, there is tons of certification depending where you want to go. If you want to go like to be on quality, it's going to be like a welding certification, a paint certification. It's going to be others. So Caterpillar offered a lot of those certifications. So that's a good stuff with a large corporation that usually we're being trained. I mean, we have required learning every year that we need to do, but as well there's access to whatever training we would like to do. There any entry positions in your field? Yes. Caterpillar is a larger company. We start like a purchasing analyst, then advanced purchasing analyst, and then it can be buyer or supplier quality engineer, and then buyer 2, and then buyer 3, and then purchasing supervisor, and then purchasing manager, and then regional purchasing manager, and then global purchasing manager, and then VPs, and there are more and more and more. So there is tons of opportunities to grow. But yeah, for the level entry as a support and management, the bachelor's degree is important. That's why it's super important to continue with your education. I know that it's hard because when you get high school, you probably start working and start making some money. That's okay, but continue your studies. I mean, look for programs. It can be virtual programs, or it can be programs at night, or it can be classes early in the morning. Talk with your wherever you're working. Maybe they will have options, right? It can be even a scholarship for you, or it can be at least give you the opportunity to continue with your studies. So please do not stop studying. All righty. Provide a range of salary. There's all kind of salaries here. So I mean, you go the level entry $40,000-$50,000 per year, plus bonuses, plus all the benefits, plus vacations, plus everything. And from there you can go up as you want, right? I mean, there's tons of positions. So of course the six-digit numbers there, they come as you progress really quick. Are there unpaid and paid internship? Yes, there are some. Purchasing, we don't have it, but if you contact HR here locally, they will have some opportunities for if you want to do it. Is interpersonal soft people skills needed for this profession? Yes, always is good, and I always say to put it's not a requirement, but it's a good to have. Being a bilingual, it can be Spanish, it can be Japanese or Chinese or some other language will help you with surpass on that area, right? But we're here in Texas, so close to Mexico, that having a good Spanish is always good, right? We were talking earlier with Kathy about how we're losing the some of the words in Spanish when we move to US and the language becomes a little bit tired. So let's have a good Spanish that we can speak fluent, that we can know words, and that we can try to improve our language. And as I mentioned, for our position, it's about negotiation, it's about people skills, about talking and trying to understand the culture, thing like that. Any physical requirements are needed in this career? Well, Caterpillar is a company that always take care of people. We take very serious about the economics, so we always checking with people and any disabilities. There are jobs for all type of disabilities. We have several employees that have some certain disabilities, and they're working here doing performing their job very well. Is any safety or personal protective equipment you need to use? Yes, we use a lot of, right now in my office, so I don't need to use it, but we have helmet, we have the earplugs, and right now, because it's October and then we're celebrating, we're using safety glasses that are pink. So usually I don't use these ones, usually I use the black ones, but since we're in October and we're celebrating or doing some conscious about cancer, we're helping using the pink glasses, safety shoes, and of course the mask now for COVID. What else? Any challenges? Oof, tons of challenges. I can tell you that there's been some challenges about being Latino and being sometimes, and I'm so happy to work in Caterpillar where there's a very diverse people, but there have been some situations where they think because you are Latino, because your Spanish is not that good, or your English is not that good, or whatever, you cannot move forward, or you cannot apply for the next position. So I will say that you always will have those kind of challenges in your life. I mean, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how much you know, how much you speak Spanish, how much you speak English, you will have challenges in your life. So the important thing is do not listen to them, just focus on your goal, focus on what you want for you, for your family, what are your aspirations in life, and focus on that. And noise, there's always going to be noise. So forget about it. Focus on what you need to do. Perform your best at your work, with your family, with your whatever you believe. Always perform your best, and the positions and the improvements will come from there. And is any COVID-19 change your job? I don't think that much. I mean, we were, of course, working from home for a lot of time. Right now, we're producing excavators. We're having all the safety measures here for all employees. And for me, I'm still coming to my office every day. My team is in a rotational program, so they don't need to come here every day. They can come whenever they want. Well, at least they need to come one day per week. But that's what it is right now with COVID. Kathy, do we have any questions or anything else that you want to ask me, or any clarification to what I just said?
I don't see any questions right now, Diego, so.
All righty. Well, I'm going to stay in the line in case someone has any questions, or Kathy, if you see something that I need to say or something. Right, with that, I want to transfer Judith, I think you can share your screen. Judith Romero she works here in Caterpillar, Victoria as well. And she works helping us with indirect and with some of the compliance and some of the direct. So Judith has a very busy desk. So
Hi, thank you for having me here. Yeah, like Diego introduced myself, I'm Judith Romero. I'm from Mexico too. I born in Sonora, which is at the west side of the Mexico. I put him here on the map. This is my hometown. And I moved to Guadalajara. Here's the other source where when I went to school, I used the university. I'm industrial engineer and worked there for about 25 years before I moved here to South Texas over here to Victoria. I've been working with Caterpillar for 4 years, and right now I'm purchasing analyst and compliance lead for this facility. In the past, I used to be the indirect buyer for Victoria. Right now, I'm just support the operations with some projects or whatever is needed for the facility. One of the things that I would like to share is that I worked for big companies when I was in Mexico, and the main thing that I always make the difference to have those good jobs or have that opportunities is because I was bilingual, because I had the opportunity to come to the States to do my high school, and I learned the language. So when I come back to Mexico to continue with my education, I got the benefit that I have both languages. So that gave me the opportunity to find jobs and get a better pay rate, and then save some money to continue with my university. And some other friends that we were at the high school, they just got the high school diploma, and some others just got the college diploma, but like 5 of them, we continue and we have a bachelor degree or master degrees, and it makes a big difference. So if you're thinking that because you're finished the high school and like Diego say, oh, I'm start working and I'm getting a good pay right now, I haven't money to pay my car, get my cell phone, and have money to buy things that I like, it's gonna be fine and I'll do school later. The times go by very fast, and the opportunities sometimes don't come twice. So we have to be prepared for whatever it's coming and continue with our education. Like he said, we have a lot of opportunities and different programs in the community that we can go virtually, we can go to the school, or we can go by courses. There's some other technical careers that can be considering, and they go from there and then continue in the future. The thing is just to not stop there. And yes, make your family and proud that we are Latinos. People, when they say, oh, they come from Mexico, they have sometimes they have a not good approach about Mexicans, because they always saw in the news or in newspaper things that not represent us as a Latino. We are people that comes to work, that we like to succeed, and everything is about the education. Is how we've been educated, and your motivation, it will lead you to that path. Some of the companies that I work in Mexico, it was Hewlett Packard. I was analyst of purchasing for the service area. And here, the headquarters was located in Houston. So that gave me the opportunity to travel and to know a lot of people. And I work for the service area where they started the boom for the Facebook, for Amazon, from eBay, Yahoo, Hotmail. So we used to help to build those big servers, and then move from the border crossing Mexico and Texas, in El Paso, Texas, to California. So it was a big challenge. It was such a great experience. And like I said, that gave me the opportunity to travel. And again, because I had the language. And they sent me here a couple of times to the hub site in Dallas, Texas, to perform some audits for the Brazil facility. And they take me there because I used to know people, and the people used to know me that I was traveling or working for that company, and because I have the language. So it's very important to not feel like, oh, I'm not talking it right, or I'm not pronouncing it correctly, so I'm not gonna talk. I'm gonna continue talking in English. And here in the company, I know people that it's Latino, they have the Latino name, but they don't speak Spanish. If I talk to them, they can understand, but they don't want to speak because they say, oh, I should be learned when I was in the high school or when I was with my grandma, with my cousins, but we thought that we're not going to use it. Well, right now, when we have some opportunities, they just see passing those opportunities by because they don't have the education or they don't have the language. And it could be a very frustrating at a certain point of your life. So if you are thinking that you have time later, think twice and just keep sitting or doing something. The other company that I work for is Agilent Technologies. It's a former Hewlett Packard company, and I work there as a field engineer in the test area equipments. And that it was testing all the PC boards for the cell phones and the computers and the electronic manufacturing industry. When I started working for that company, they give me the job because I knew the English because I have the language again. And maybe like you say, like you can hear me, my pronunciation is not the best. I'm not, I have my Mexican accent, and that would have makes us different. But we are here and we are working and we are continue pursuing our dreams. And for example, to my kids, I speak in Spanish. I talk to them in Spanish, so they learn the language, and it's easy for them now. They're taking the classes in the high school, and they know they can have a conversation whenever we have chance. We went to Mexico to visit my family, and they are in contact with the culture too. They have friends over there, and they can communicate. And they know already that they will have a better opportunities in the future because they know more than others right now. They are a step ahead, and that's where you need to go, or like to, if you want to. Nobody will knock your door and tell you what you have to do. It's something that you have to pursue and something that you have to want it. But if you dream about it, if you work on that, you will succeed. Other company that I work there is Productos Verde Valle. You can find some of the products. This is a Mexican company that do rice and beans. You can find it on HEB, some of those products. And I also work for 7-Eleven Mexico, like a financial analyst, and for Flextronics, there's an electronic manufacturing company in Guadalajara as well, as an assistant for the engineering director. And if you see my professional experience is being different, and my career as an industrial engineer gives me the opportunity to do different positions, to have different jobs, because I have the formation on the finance, on the engineering, on the math, on the quality. So that gives us more opportunities to look for a job. Like I said, this Universidad UNIVA is Universidad Marista de Guadalajara. And some of the activities that I used to do once I finished my career over there is I always wanted to give back something to the community, because I saw some of my teachers, they work all day or they have their own business. And then at the evenings, they used to be teachers on the engineering career. And they were donating, and they were working on that, giving back something that they will learn out the outside at the field. And for us, be working all day and going to school at the night to get our diploma, it was very inspiring. So when I finished it, I wanted to do something like I learned from them. And I went back to the university and I started giving some classes, IT or computers. And that takes me to give me more classes. And then I've finished with the regular computer classes at the high school. Also, I helped when I was an Agilent to some professional coordinations between Tec de Monterrey, which is university where Diego studied, but for the electronic career with the engineers in electronic. And we invite some of the students with the best grades to the company to do like a 3 months in a work in a project with the engineers, and then they give them a diploma, and then they could see what the field it was about. Because one thing is when you are in the school, and totally different when you go and work, and that give them the idea what they need to get more focus, what they will need, and work on that, so they were more prepared by the time that they finish their school and get the diploma. So they were a step ahead with the rest of the students that they prefer just to stay at a school. Some of the questions, like I say, the Diego had it, is I have different positions here in Caterpillar. I'm started as a contractor, and then I had the opportunity to apply for a permanent position. And now since there, I'm being here for 4 years, I'm sorry. And we have some openings, and the reason why the people are not getting those positions is because they don't complete the school, or they started but they quit because they didn't like it, or because they thought they're not going to need it. And yes, this company has a lot of opportunities like other big companies, but if you don't have the diploma, it will be very hard for you to get there, or for jump from one position to another, because it's always required to have BS or a technical, and then you go from there. You need to continue working on your education constantly. You need to read. If you like to research, do some researches, and take advantage of all the resources that we have here in the States. In Mexico, it's very expensive to have an education, but here there's a lot of resources, and just think about all the chances that not only the government, there's some associations and the companies that are giving. If we don't take advantage of that, it will be the time that they will not give in any, because the people is not using it. So if not using it, why they have to have them there? They're just using for a different purpose. And basically, well, the sharing my experience with you, if you have an idea, just pursue that idea. Just make your family proud. Be good as a Mexican. Be proud of be Latino, and set a precedence in the community so the people can look at us differently, like people that we do the things right.
Right. Thank you, Edith.
Thank you.
And Kathy, I would like to give some giveaways to those people that are watching the video. So the first one is, as I mentioned, I love negotiation. So the first giveaway is this book. Where should I put it that way it can look better? Right there. It's Getting to Yes. It's a negotiation agreement without giving in. It's a great book that talks about the steps, how to negotiate and how to do it. So I'm gonna give another. I know that I gave one book, but I'm gonna give you 2 books, Kathy, one for the session from yesterday and one for this session. And then the other one is just a small percent. It's a pad for Caterpillar that you can put your notes. Hopefully you can get it and watch this video and put some notes. So just trying to support a little bit your ideas, guys, and we're excited that you're watching this video. I hope everybody's being safe, and as Judith mentioned, and I think Kathy, I sent you that open rec that I have right now. Currently, I have a position that I need to fill it up. And it's been the 3rd time that I publish it. And the reason why I do it that is because we cannot find a candidate that has a bachelor's degree. And that position, I mean, it will pay good. I mean, it's not like a level entry. It's a good position. And as you mentioned, it's been 4 or 5 candidates that they apply from our facility. The problem is that they are not making passing the recruiting stage because they don't have any bachelor's degree. So very important to continue with your education, guys, and very important to practicing your Spanish. Don't be ashamed of not speaking. whoever speaks Spanish, you start speaking Spanish to that person. Even if you are learning a small word every day, your vocabulary will be more extensive when you finish. So
I have a question for both of you. Did either of you have a problem with your degrees being recognized by the United States, since they were from universities or institutions and given your tests were in Mexico? Was that a problem for you?
I can start with that. When I start with Caterpillar and Bucyrus Caterpillar transition, yes, they were not recognizing my bachelor's even or my master's degree, right? So what I need to do is I need to send it to be translated and be audit and be everything. So now was recognized back then. But now Caterpillar changed that a little bit, and now it's more, they now are, they have an agreement that you can go and put your school, even if it's in any other country, and they will validate that you have that certification. So I think times have been changing over the past 10 years. And now with all these great internet and benefits of communications and connecting to the different networks, now it's a lot easier to get recognized for studies in other countries. Judy, I don't know, how was your experience?
Yes, I had the same thing that I have to revalidate here, like I did with my diploma in high school. I went to Mexico and I had to revalidate in the Mexico Educational Secretary, and they give me the pass. And so it has the same here from Mexico here to the States. But like you said, they are more open right now. So that is a good thing for us. And but the key is that we're constantly taking trainings. So we need to keep up with the trainings. Some of them are required for the company, and some others we perform by ourselves. But it's always the key that they see that you can, you're not stopped right there. You are educating yourself every time that it can be done.
Correct.
Well, very good. Well, we definitely want to thank you both for sharing your experiences with us. And I think it was particularly important to hear about the reinforcement, about education, about getting those degrees and those certifications and continuing education. I think that's
Correct.
so important. And also, you know, the richness of the cultural background and what that brings from everyone. Whether it's in our personal life or our work life. I really appreciate you all giving examples of that, how that has been helpful to you and helpful to your company as well.
That's correct.
So thank you both so much again for spending this time with us. And we will look forward to visiting with you again.
Thanks, Kathy. Thanks. Looking forward to collaborate for another session.
Thank you for the invitation.
Have a good one. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one. Take care.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.